Hey there. For you who are new here, my name is Amanda Krieger, and I thought I'd go live for the first time and go through the Milso tag that you may have seen if you watch other armies, Army Wife, or otherwise military significant other content. And I have 24 questions here. So I'm just going to go through them. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I will do my best to answer them either as I go along or at the end. So here we go. First one is, how did you meet? Husband Tom and I met online, actually, in 2014. We had our first date and our first in-person meeting at a bowling alley in South Florida. And how old were you? I was 26 and he was 32. How long have we been together? Hi, honey. He just walked in to say hi. You want to come say hi to whoever's watching on YouTube? Okay, no?
I didn't know you were live.
Yes, I'm live. Okay, so number 2 is, how old are you? I was 26 and he was 32. How long have we been together? As I mentioned, we met in 2014, October 27th, 2014 to be specific. So it's been about 6 years and about 6.5, almost 6.5 years. Where are we from? So I spent my childhood in South Carolina, and then just before high school, I moved to South Florida, and he split his time between New York and New Jersey. How did I feel about him joining? Guys, I was not thrilled at all. I mean, okay, let me back up. I was proud of him for joining. I told him, mind you, this was on our second date that I found out that he was going to join. I told him that it was honorable, that he wanted to serve our country, but I didn't think that I could handle the distance and the demands that come with military life. So I was kind of like, well, you know, this is a great career path that you want to pursue, but it's been nice knowing you. I don't think that we can continue this very new relationship, basically. But we've been married for a little bit, so spoiler alert, my hesitance didn't last for very long. Let's see. Where did he go to basic training? He went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And has he deployed? It's number 7. No, he has not. There have been a couple of times when he's been slated to go, and then plans have changed because military, you know, things just change. Have I been to a promotion of his? Yes, I have. He had a promotion about 2 years ago, and I got to pin him, and that was really exciting. My son was able to be there as well. Somebody else was hanging out with him while I was pinning him, but it was really neat to be able to be there for him, and then get to hear him give a short speech, which I didn't know was coming. So that was really special for me to be able to be there for him. Let's see. Did we marry before or after he joined? We married after he joined. He was in AIT at Fort Sam Houston at the time. But actually, this next question clarifies a little bit. It is, where did you get married? We technically got married twice. We had our courthouse wedding in San Antonio at the courthouse. And then we had our church wedding in Southwest Florida at Catholic Church, where I was working at the time, 7 months later. And how long have we been married? So we had our courthouse wedding May 27th of 2016. So we've been married for just shy of 5 years. And then the next question is, how did he propose? At the time, he was in training in Monterey, and I went out to visit that August, and he had a full day of classes, and I was working remotely at the time. So he came up to my room to pick me up for dinner, and he came in the room, he gave me a hug, and he said, if you've ever seen It's a Wonderful Life, this will mean something to you. If not, this might not make sense. But he said, is this the ear you can't hear in? George Bailey, I'll love you for the day till the day I die. It's a Wonderful Life is one of my absolute favorite movies, and I do have a 30% hearing loss in my right ear, so there was it was doubly sweet for me, I guess you could say. And but I thought he was just being sweet. So when he ran off to go get something 2 seconds later, I was really confused. But then he came back with the ring, and I said yes. How old were you when you were married? I was 27, and he had just turned 34, I think. Yes. Did he wear his uniform on wedding day? Yes, he did. He wore his dress blues both to the courthouse and to the church. And yeah, he looks really handsome in dress blues. Let's see. Where are we stationed? We are currently stationed at Fort Drum, but are slated to move to Texas in just a few weeks. And no lie, I'm excited. Just for the change of pace, to see a new place, to meet new people. Yeah, I'm just really excited about it. And then let's see. Do we live on or off post? We live on right now, and as of right now, the plan is to just continue living on post wherever we live. It just works out well for us. How long were we together before we were separated? For anything. Well, as I mentioned, he hasn't been deployed before. We were together for 2.5 months before he left for basic training, and then we were pretty much apart for the better part of a year and a half, aside from me going to visit him at the various trainings. And then once we actually got to live together, we were living together as a married couple for about 14 months before he had to leave for training. Does he look good in uniform? Yes. Yes, he does. Oh my goodness. But I tend to prefer him in OCPs rather than his dress blues, his ASUs. I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority here, but that's my not so humble opinion. Is military life more advanced? I'm gonna take this to mean, is it more difficult than civilian life? I don't think it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. I feel like military life is just different. Hurry up and wait is very much a thing. Not being able to schedule vacations or time to visit extended family, things like that. It can be challenging, but it's really all a matter of communication, in my opinion, and military life definitely requires that. So, in some ways, I feel like it pushes you to be really communicative, to be really connected to your spouse as much as possible. And I definitely appreciate that about military life. Let's see. Do I like the benefits? Yes. Medical insurance has been very important for us. I have a number of health issues, health conditions, and I've needed various specialists so far in my time as a military spouse. So I'm very grateful for the medical care. I've used the MyCAA scholarship to get a small business entrepreneurship certificate. And yeah, there are lots of different benefits that the military offers for military families and spouses in particular, and I'm definitely grateful for them, for sure. Do I have a lot of military spouse friends? I would say I have a lot of military spouse acquaintances, and to be perfectly honest, a lot of the military spouses I've become close to have since moved from where we are currently. So I have more long distance military spouse friends than I do have in person here. But that's okay. Um, I've learned that the military, while it is big in a lot of ways, you never know when you could be stationed together again or run into each other at some, who knows, promotion ceremony or whatever. And I've also gotten really good at or not really good, but I've been getting better at keeping in touch with long distance friends. So yay for that. Do I own military wife stuff? I have before. I've had t-shirts, and I actually found a t-shirt just earlier today from my husband's basic training graduation. So I do still have that. But most of my Army related stuff is just camo print. It's not specifically military related. The hardest part of military life. I have anxiety and depression, so I worry a lot about deployment, for when the time comes. But the hardest part that I've actually experienced is when civilian friends and family don't understand um, military life. Sometimes the thing that they don't understand is easy to explain, and it can be fixed, or like the communication situation can be fixed, no problem. And other times, it's not as easy. So I think trying to communicate those things to civilian friends and families right now, the hardest part that I've experienced. And then the last question, number 24, is do you support your spouse as a service member? Do I support my husband in his military career? Yes, I do. I was definitely nervous about it when he first told me he was going to join, but, and I'll go a little bit more in depth on this one. What I realized when my husband went off to basic training was that while I'd said that distance was hard, I didn't understand at the time that while distance is hard, sure, it can be overcome, or like you can deal with the challenge if you truly care for, truly love the other person. You find ways to make do, you find ways to connect. And so the night that he left for basic training, I decided that I was going to give it my all. I was going to do my best to connect with him and communicate and really really dig deep and figure out if I truly loved him and if I really could or couldn't handle this military life. And after 11 weeks of writing him a letter, at least one, sometimes multiple, every single day, and then going to see him for family day and graduation, I realized that, yeah, I really did love him, and I really do love him, and I would do what it took to learn how to deal with the distance and the unique challenges that come with military life. And here we are, 5 years married, and I'd say I've done a pretty good job. I definitely have a lot to learn, but I'm hanging in. And yeah, so that's my military spouse tag story for you. And if you've stuck around and watched this whole thing, thank you so much. If you're interested in other military life content, please feel free to stick around and watch other videos. Click subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you found this information helpful or entertaining, and I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer for you, or um, videos that you would like to see, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much, and have a great night.